Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another video today. We are going to talk today, guys, about why gas leaf blowers absolutely dominate electric leaf blowers. Now, we're talking primarily about cordless leaf blowers here, and I do want to go ahead and point that out as well. I feel like it's definitely noteworthy. But let's go ahead and dive into this, right? I feel like especially for first-time homeowners, if I could talk, there's a lot of okay, do I get a gas blower? Do I get something that's more powerful? Do I get something that's, maybe a little bit cheaper, maybe uses a battery? This is a Black & Decker 40-volt battery system leaf blower here. This is a Craftsman 2-cycle, okay? It's pretty standard 40-to-1 fuel-to-oil ratio. But yeah, a lot of people will be going, well, what one do I need? What do I actually need to get? And I'm going to say right now, okay? I started out with the one on the right, which is the Black & Decker 40-volt system. I will say right now, right off the bat, if you have the 20-volt system from Black & Decker already, the 40-volt really doesn't add anything extra. It's not gonna really blow your mind or change your experience. So if you've got the 20-volt system already, go ahead and go with the 20-volt. I really did not notice any difference. But yeah, I started with this guy and I switched to this guy, right? I switched from electric to gasoline. A big reason for that is wet leaves. All right, now you might be saying, well, it's a leaf blower. Shouldn't they both be able to blow the leaves around? Yeah, they can, but one really moves the leaves a lot better than others, right? And that's the Craftsman. So why exactly are gas blowers dominant over electric leaf blowers, right? Why exactly is this something that seems to still be a thing even to this day? Because you would think, okay, well, electric's caught up. Electric is now making great strides. And gas isn't always going to win out in every category. But let's talk about a couple, okay? First things first, I want to talk about the power provided by each leaf blower. Now, again, these are both relatively similar in price. They're both actually about $100, which really, again, not too expensive. I want to say the Black & Decker was maybe 70 or 80 with the battery included. The Craftsman, on the other hand, was about 100 even. And I kind of like the color scheme on the Craftsman. But anyway, you can see obviously this one's gas. It's got a fairly large engine. This one's electric. It's relatively small and lightweight. We'll talk about that in a second as well. Gas blowers just bring a lot more power to the table, and they bring a lot more power consistently. Now, in my personal experience, when you start using an electric blower, it's going to be fine for probably the first, well, it depends on the battery size as well, but it's going to be fine for a while, right? You're not going to have to worry about the battery running out instantaneously or anything like that. But once it starts to get low, once the battery really starts to drain, then yeah, you do see a lot of reduced performance. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast, right? Whereas with the gas blower, if you've got fuel, then you're good to go, okay? You can essentially go for as long as you want if you have the fuel. I've really had no issues with the engine overheating. I've been able to find the fuel for, well, you can buy it pre-mixed or you can mix it yourself. It really just comes down to personal preference. I personally like to get it pre-mixed because it makes it nice and easy, but you really don't run out, okay? So in terms of power, you're going to get a lot more power, a lot more leaf pushing power, which, if you're blowing around grass clippings or something small, then yeah, you're probably not really going to care about this that much, okay? Because if you're only doing very, very minor work, then it doesn't really matter that much. But if you're starting to do things like blowing around wet leaves, if you need to move, a lot of heavy dirt or wet dirt, which some people call mud, but anyway, off of like a driveway, or you've got a lot of concrete surface area to clear, then you're going to notice a difference with the gas, okay? You absolutely are. And I think that that's really noteworthy. It's going to give you the power you need for a lot longer. Runtime, that's very considerable as well. Durability, okay? Let's talk about that because that's something else I really want to go ahead and bring up. We could talk somewhat about like versatility as well. But at the same time, I think the versatility kind of speaks for itself. This uses fuel, and you can mix that yourself as well. This uses a battery system, which is essentially going to be proprietary. This one's the Craftsman 40V. And again, it's Black & Decker, sorry, not Craftsman. Now I'm getting the models confused. There are better systems out there. There are better electric blowers out there. But these are pretty close to the same price. And again, that's really what we're looking at here. Let's talk about materials, and let's talk about build quality. In my experience, the gasoline blowers tend to be built a little bit better. Now, this is not always the case, and I again really want to stress that. I want to drive that point home. But oftentimes, the gas blowers are going to actually have a little bit better construction. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that it's got this big, heavy engine, right? So you've got to lug around a relatively heavy engine. You've got to have a slightly better structure overall. You can see the bolts here holding this together are actually larger. The screws, I should say. But anyway, they're relatively larger when compared to the Black & Decker electric blower over here. The attachment point for the funnel right here, the funnel, what am I saying? the nozzle, whatever you want to call it. For some reason, I'm blanking on the technical term. The blowy thing, the you know, thing that pushes out air. You guys know what I mean. When it comes down to it, the construction quality on this is a lot better than on this. And this is something I've actually had pop off several times with the Black & Decker here. This little clip is retained by a spring and two very small plastic tabs, which I think you can kind of see there. Okay, so in terms of construction quality, it's fine, but even doing basic work, I have had this thing fall off before. And it just, you know, you've got to stop, you've got to kind of find the piece that fell off. Usually this thing falls off and then the nozzle falls off shortly afterward, and it just gets annoying. Now, that's probably more of a specific problem for this blower. I'm not going to go out and say that all, you know, leaf blowers have issues like this. And if you have one that's more expensive, like an Ego or something, the Ego is probably a lot better built, but this, I have never had that happen. I've never had that experience with this. And I'm sure there are some gas blowers out there where you probably have the same thing happen. You probably have the same issues. This one really hasn't been one. The lower part of the nozzle locks into place here very, very easily. The upper part locks into place as well. And generally speaking, I think the construction quality is better. Now, again, that's my opinion. That's my take. Not every leaf blower is the same. And I definitely want to point that out as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. And that's my take. That's my personal experience. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.